So I got a lot of work done yesterday. We had the first of the All Mouse Media videos, did a load of work for Jen, made a comic, even went down to town. Today, the weather is awful. I'm actually out of breath because it's so humid it's hard to breathe. So I'm staying in the house, going to get the comic done, get a bit of editing done for Game Hammer. I've got a Game Hammer extra pickup today, edit yesterday's vlog, and then I'm just going to sit and watch Supergirl and maybe some other things because, like I say, it's hard to breathe because of this weather. It's so bad. So I'm going to get on. Humid again. Now it's pouring with rain. I'm breathless again. I wasn't when I got up this morning, and I probably won't be in about 10 minutes after the rain's effects have set in. But for the moment, I'll tell you what, COVID's got nothing on humid. I'm out of breath. It's ridiculous. Anyway, today is going to be a fairly slow day. I've got a video to film, which is part of the collection of all of the games that are above the camera here, behind the camera. We're doing the collection of PlayStation 2 PAL set, so that people can see what's in it. I think it's useful as a record, because no one's entirely sure what's in the set. There are lists, and they're not complete anywhere. I haven't got a complete set. People who compiled the list haven't got a complete set. So we compare, show evidence, and things like that. So it's important from a gaming historical perspective. And then after that, I've got some reviews to write and plan for some more scripts and enhance some scripts for Game Hammer, Film Hammer, Show Hammer, things like that. We've got a lot of hammers going on. People say they've got a lot of irons in the fire. We've got a lot of hammers. So aside from that, it's going to be a busy day at the computer. So, oh my goodness, I'm look like I'm dripping with sweat. I'm not. I've been out in the rain. I had some errands to run, so I'm just dripping with rain at the moment. And let's just get on. What can I say? But there is one thing that I wanted to put at the start. What's happened? Ian Holm. 5 minutes. Oh. Ian Holm, one of the Lord of the Rings stars. He played Bilbo Baggins in Lord of the Rings. He's dead. That's a shame. And he was a good guy, wasn't he? Rest in peace. That's terrible. But, oh my goodness, it's kind of knocked me off. It's not what I was wanting to pick up the phone up and talk about, because I want to do a bit of a Q&A thing, response to some questions on the vlog. So I'm going to bring up the last vlog that went up, which from my point of view is the one about the weird DVDs, and from your point of view will probably be a very short one about yesterday, where there's not much in it. So actually, no, I'll tell you what, I'm going to stick that on the front of this one, so that we don't have a tiny one and then a proper vlog. We'll get back to full-size ones once lockdown is properly ended. We'll be able to actually get out and do things. So for the moment, let's have a look at some of these questions and statements that have been sent. Southern Train Girl says, Stargate SG-1 is one of the best series that was on TV. Stargate Atlantis is great as well. Absolutely right. Stargate was a great show. Atlantis was an amazing show. It really did get going very quickly. The first few episodes I thought might be a little bit formulaic and very derivative of the original Stargate series, but actually it found its feet very quickly and just went at it, and I was very pleased to see that. I really did enjoy Atlantis. I'm one of those that liked Universe as well. I thought Universe had a brilliant premise and should have kept going. It got amazing, especially near the end of its run. It was so good. So yeah, Stargate's great. Ryan Smith says, I loved Warlock. I remember getting my uncle to rent it from a video library in 1989. My goodness, I would not have been allowed to rent it in 1989. I think it's like a 15 or so, isn't it? I can't remember the rating on it. It might even be an 18. But yeah, I saw it as a late teenager, and I loved it. It's such a good game. And I've got games on the mind because of the work I've got planned for today. It was such a good film. I really, really enjoyed it. The performances are pretty good. I don't know what the rest of the series is like, because Julian Sands did keep coming back as the Warlock for several sequels. I haven't seen those yet, but the original, it's so good. Let's have a look. Retro Mickey 82. Lots of VHS, older wacky movies are getting very expensive now, sadly. I'm after a lot I loved as a kid. Had most were VHS content which was cut in DVDs. And that's another thing. Yes, this is why I wanted to pick this one specifically. Retro Mickey has hit the nail on the head. There's certain content on VHS that was never transferred to DVD. It might be a special feature, like a little featurette that's on one of the tapes. And they redid the featurettes for the DVD. So the original version is gone. It might be a completely different featurette because they lost the masters or something like that, so they couldn't transfer it to DVD, or they just didn't think it fit with a DVD. There's many reasons why. James Rolfe, who plays the Angry Video Game Nerd, he mentioned in several of his VHS collection videos, he's got very similar interest to me. It's quite interesting. He mentioned that the Star Wars films are a great example of this, because each version has a little bit tweaked. So one line of dialogue might be tweaked. They might have an extra sound effect or an extra visual effect, or it might be the special editions where they changed a load of things. So the VHS releases and the Laserdisc releases, they're all different. It's quite interesting. But the main one he was on about was some of the imported Japanese monster films he's got. There's one, Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster, I think it was, he said. A woman sings near the end to placate one of the monsters. And in a VHS copy that he's got, her singing is dubbed in English, so you get an English version of the song. In most DVD releases, they leave the Japanese song in there. So it's like preserving history, he says, and he's absolutely right, because that version only exists on VHS. So there are reasons to get VHS and to keep certain tapes. I'm not saying keep everything, because it's not the same with same situation with everything, but it is quite interesting. And then Terry Hooper says, "You have never heard of the Phoenix Lights. Any and every UFO site was onto it, and there are TV docs, books, and loads of other stuff." I never heard of it. I honestly thought it was a made-up film when I saw it. I thought it was basically summarising the fictional history that had led up to the film, as many sci-fi films do. No, I hadn't heard of the Phoenix Lights because it never came up on any of the sites I frequented. It wasn't on the documentaries and TV shows that I watched, or if it was, I've completely blanked it from my memory. I used to watch all the weird cryptozoology, crypto science, and all sorts that were on really late at night on TV in the 90s. I don't remember it coming up at all. So it's quite possible that it was mentioned and I've forgotten it, but it's also equally possible that it just wasn't mentioned in any of the places I've frequented. Just one of those things. Honestly, hadn't heard of it. Okay, I've got to get on to work now. I hope that's been fun for you. Feel free to leave questions and answers or comments, and maybe we'll do another Q&A another time. But I've got to get to work now. Well, the humidity has certainly gone down. You can probably hear from all of this noise. My goodness. It's just raining like you would not believe. Wow. It's been rain and then rain and then rain for days. But I'm here in the conservatory, and the War of the Worlds is still here. We brought it here last year. Was it earlier this year? It might have been earlier this year. Either way, it's all still here. On Sunday, apparently, it's being collected to go to where it's going to live for a while at a model railway club. But it's been here so long that it's like, what do we do with the space afterwards? Because we enjoy a conservatory. That'd be nice. My goodness. But at least the humidity is going down now, so I've got a chance to actually be able to breathe again. You can hear that I'm not gasping for air anymore. Ooh, it's been an interesting day. Anyway, I'm going to go and watch TV because the comics are done, all of the video editing is done. I'm off. If you liked today's video, please consider supporting me on Patreon. And an extra special thanks goes out to Chief89 and Tepic. Thank you.